Imagine waking up one morning and seeing a glowing arc stretched across the sky. Not a cloud, not an aurora, but a massive, bright ring system, just like Saturn's, circling Earth. Sharp, brilliant bands of ice and rock wrapped around our planet like a cosmic halo. Beautiful and terrifying. If Earth suddenly had rings, the world would change instantly. First, the sky transforms forever. Depending on where you live, the rings could dominate the horizon. A permanent glowing stripe cutting across the heavens. Near the equator, they'd rise straight upward like a vertical wall of shimmering silver. Near the poles, they would be nearly invisible. Cities would build viewing towers. Tourism would explode. But beauty hides danger, because the rings come with physics. To stay stable, Earth's rings would need to orbit above the atmosphere, but below low Earth orbit. That means millions of chunks of ice, dust, and boulders circling the planet at enormous speeds. Even a pebble traveling at orbital velocity is deadly. Every satellite, every space station, every spacecraft path would be blocked. Humanity's entire satellite network, GPS, internet, weather systems, becomes impossible. Space travel as we know it ends, but that's just the beginning. As the rings reflect sunlight, they create permanent glowing nights in many regions. The extra light disrupts animal behavior globally. Nocturnal species suffer first. Predators lose the cover of darkness. Birds migrate off schedule. Sea turtles, insects, and plants that rely on moonlight patterns begin to collapse. Human sleep cycles distort too. The sky is never fully dark anymore. The climate also changes dramatically. Rings reflect sunlight unevenly across Earth. Regions underneath the brightest bands receive less heat, cooling noticeably. Others warm due to scattered light. This imbalance twists weather systems. Storm belts shift. Monsoons weaken or intensify unpredictably. Some deserts may bloom from reflected light, others may dry out even more. Then comes the shadow effect. As the rings pass between Earth and the Sun, they cast giant moving shadows across continents. Imagine standing outside and watching day suddenly dim as a soft, striped darkness sweeps across the land. Not an eclipse, but a constant flicker. These shadows cool areas unpredictably, interfering with crops, seasons, and precipitation. Agriculture becomes a guessing game, but the greatest danger comes from the ring material itself. Rings are unstable. They grind, they collide, they fall inward slowly. Over decades or centuries, chunks of ice and rock drift toward Earth, burning up as meteors, or surviving the fall as catastrophic impacts. Meteor storms become regular events. Some nights would glow with streaks of fire as ring debris rains down. But occasionally, a city-sized fragment could break away, triggering disasters far worse than any asteroid humanity has ever faced. If the rings are dense enough, their gravitational interactions could even affect Earth's rotation slightly, making days shorter or longer by milliseconds. Over centuries, this disrupts weather, tides, and climate in unpredictable ways. And remember, the moon would also be affected. Earth's rings could destabilize the moon's orbit over thousands of years. In some scenarios, the moon drifts farther away. In others, it eventually collides with the rings, turning them into chaotic clouds of debris or worse, falling toward Earth itself. In the end, a ringed Earth would be breathtaking but dangerous. Human civilization would adapt, building underground shelters for meteor storms, redesigning agriculture, abandoning satellite technology, creating a new world built under a glowing sky. Society would be forced to rebuild around a planet that is beautiful, unstable, and forever changed by a cosmic crown we never asked for. Earth with rings would be stunning to look at, but incredibly difficult to survive on.